Hello and welcome to the next episode of H. Paul Models. Following the Battle of Britain diorama, it got me thinking, what other films do I like from that era? And one of them is Kelly's Heroes. I absolutely adore it. So I've got myself a Sherman and a Tiger. So rather than blowing each other up, I thought I'd do them together as friends or something like that. So starting with the Sherman, I'm going to try and mimic Oddballs' tank and when he was shooting paintballs. That should be hilarious. So let's crack on. Some of my subscribers and recent viewers, whatnot, might remember I did a Sherman a little while ago. I think this is the next generation one because I've got option of doing fixed tracks, which is like comes part of the kit. They're here, so there's just the tracks already, or I can make the tracks up with these. So starting with the chassis, I think I'm going to make them individually. It does say for experienced modelers, so I think I better go with the mouldy ones, eh? Anyway, joking aside, let's get this model started. So using the Revel, because that's what I like, stick that in there like that. I must admit, I do like the modern Airfix kits. They do go together rather well. Unlike my previous Sherman, these wheels seem to go together rather easily, so a dab of glue in there and then just bring these two together like, oh, he says like that. Give it a squeeze, just line the bits up, and that's it. Very nice. I've got a few more of these to do, so I'll crack on with that and then we'll see how we fit them to the tank. Cool. So all the rolling wheels are built, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I've numbered them so I know which one is which. So what I'm going to do now is give them all a rattle can primer. I'm also going to do the top of the chassis and anything else that needs doing. I want the wheels different colour to the chassis so they stand out a bit, that's all. So I'll get on with that and then we'll start painting the colours that's on the instruction sheet. First layer of paint on then will be rust, so let's crack on with that. Now some varnish. Now some metallic. Now for some more varnish. Chipping on the wheels. Got a shortened brush water alcohol mix. What I'm going to do is just dampen the brush a little bit, rub it across. Remember, I didn't varnish or hairspray the green layer, so I'm just rubbing that across, dampening it, getting a cotton bud and just roll it. Now if I slide it across as well, the rust comes through, but there's also the still. I don't think you can see that on the camera, but it's quite a good effect. I'll do a close-up photo of it just to show you on the video, but yeah, it's quite good. I quite like that effect, and I do that by not hairspraying the second layer of paint. Now for the chassis, same thing. I'm going to do it where the wheels will be running, so along there. Just rub it back until I can see reflective paint. Cotton bud, and just dry it off. There we go, just to give it a bit of effect of mechanical wear, I suppose. There we go, so you should be able to see that through the tracks. So putting the wheels on, little dob of the old Revel on there, very nice and easy. Put it on and let it set. Done. So again, I'll do the rest, and then we'll start with the tracks. Whilst the wheels on the chassis dry, I'm going to do the tank tracks the same. So just give them a brush with this. Get a cotton bud and rub them. It just brings out a very slight hint of rust on the tracks. Don't want too much, but they're slightly off shiny now, which is what I was after. So I'll just do the other bits. I'm going to use some green, mud green weathering powder. And just take this and my weathering brush and just give that a bit of a going over with that. No, they actually look like they're tank tracks. Love it. There we go, that's all them done. I'm going to hit them with varnish so it locks the weathering in, and then I'll put them onto the tank. Off camera I painted the tank runner wheels black, and I've now dry fitted the tracks. They went on ever so well, so I've just got to dab them with a little bit of Tamiya just to set them in place. So a little tiny bit of adjustment here and there just to get everything aligned, and I must say, I have to say, that is a really nice fit. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that is superb. That's a really, really good fit. So with a little bit of Tamiya here and there, so definitely a bit there, a bit on that joint there, a little tiny bit there and there. And then what I do is behind the wheels, just put a little dab on each one of these wheels there so it doesn't damage the paint on the front. Just like that, just to secure the track in place. There we go. I'll let that sit on its track and let it dry. Very, very nice. Both sides of the tracks are now done. That was a bit of a fettle, but they do fit okay. Jolly good. Now onwards and upwards with the chassis. So this back piece into there. I can see why I didn't paint it with the airbrush. That's alright, I can touch that up later, that's no big thing. And that's a very nice fit in there as well. I must admit, I don't usually build armour, but I'm starting to change my mind. Maybe I'll do some more. So a bit of Tamiya in there. Join that together and let that go off. And then by the looks of the instructions, I've got some fiddly bits to do. I'm not one for fiddly bits. Whilst doing the little fiddly bits, I had a bit of a pinging moment and I lost one of these front winch points, lift points, so I've made it out of wire, super glued it in. This looks okay, so I'll carry on doing his fiddly bits. Well, I've been fidgeting all these small bits into place. I thought I'd add a bit of my electronics because, well, you know I like doing that. And I've stuck an LED in the front of the tank via a bit of sprue, so there's a light on there, just to add a little bit of interest for me really more than anything else. Yeah, quite pleased with that. I've decided to skip ahead with the instructions a little bit and put the top of the tank on, because I'm worried that I'm going to fit these little bits and I'm going to knock them off like I have already with these two pieces while I'm sticking the top on. So yeah, I thought I'd do the top. So I've glued it, clamped it, I'll let it go off and then continue with the small bits. Yeah, I just thought that makes more sense. So yeah, I'll carry on gluing and getting more and more frustrated with these small pingy bits. and then I'll show you how I've got on after I've had a nervous breakdown. Right, Oddballs tank wasn't a Firefly, so I've cut the muzzle brake off of this. That's gone, and I'm going to drill a muzzle hole. So I've started it already. Just drill down into the barrel, because I don't like blunt-ended barrels, just to give it a bit of realism. I'm not going to go too deep, just deep enough to give that a hole. Get a slightly bigger drill now and just open that up. Otherwise a blunt bit of plastic will just look awful. So yeah, just drill it down as far as I dare, which is about there, I think. And then yeah, slightly bigger drill now, just to make that muzzle look a bit more, shall we say, menacing, I suppose. A slightly bigger drill bit in the old pin vise. Find me hole and then just give that very, very slowly, open that up. Right, the kit doesn't come with a 50 cal machine gun for the turret, unlike the film. So I've got this out of an old, I don't know what plane it was from, to be honest. It might have been a B-17, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a 50 cal. So I'm going to use this to represent the 50 on top of the turret. So using this drill bit, I'm going to very carefully try and drill a hole in there. So find my scalpel and make a little centre dot first, just to get the hole started. And use this little drill and make a tiny hole in there if possible. Oh, missed it. This is where I'm going to take my fingers off. I just want a little tiny hole or divot or something, just to, that's it. Just, if I can't just get myself a little dent or anything, just so I can locate something. Ugh, always a bit ambitious. There we go, just a little tiny hole like that in there. There we go, I think that's going to be alright. I just run that drill in there a bit again. Oh Christ. Just trying to make a little tiny, that'll do. Then I'm going to take this little tiny bit of 15 amp fuse wire and sit that in there with some super glue. Paint it all black and then stick it on top of the tank. Yeah, let's see if it works. I'm mounting the 50 on the turret. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of super glue out the tube. I don't want too much on there. Stick that in the hole that I've pre-drilled. It should be enough, I hope. That's it. Stick a bit on the fuse wire. There. And then here goes nothing. Hopefully that will slide in there without breaking or snapping or any other untoward stuff. There we go, that's in, and I'm going to leave that like that. Yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. Yeah, nice little addition, I think. The last piece of the puzzle is the speaker that Oddball had on the sides of his turret, and so I've made one out of an old drop tank. I've cut the end off, stuck a cocktail stick in there to give it the speaker effect, bit of 15 amp fuse wire, drilled a hole in the side of the turret, so all I need now is a little bit of super glue and dip that in the end. Oh crikey, dip that in the end there like that, and then just thread that in there like that. Oh, I just spin it round and then let that glue go off. There's the speaker. Do like a bit of scratch building, I must admit, it is one of my favourite things. So there we go, my version of Oddballs Sherman. Really enjoyed this build. Not usually into armour, but yeah, this was a nice, easy build. Well done, Airfix. Yeah, hopefully you liked the video. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I'll see you on the next instalment of Kelly's Heroes Diorama. Cheers!